Hi everyone, it's Jerusha. I decided to try something slightly different. I want to show you, I want to let you see my dreads better for like more of the time that I'm standing here talking to you. Because when I watch my own videos, it's actually one of my favorite parts of watching them. And so I want to make sure I actually elevated the iPad that I have, that I'm videotaping this on. And I'm going to just show you my dreads while I'm talking to you. I'm going to show them from the back, and I'm going to show them different ways like that. I've gotten some really awesome comments. I'm so excited to the comments on my previous video. Like, I'll link to it below. But anyway, I'm getting like a lot of comments all of a sudden. It's cool because I love, well, one, like supporting people, and I want to like respond to most of the comments if at all possible. And I'm sorry I don't get to it sooner. I can't do it on my iPhone. Maybe you guys know this too, but it's like certain things you can't do on your iPhone when you're in YouTube. Well, comments, I can't even look at comments, I think, but I can't respond to them, and I can't, yeah, on my iPhone, even if I turn it like sideways. So I have to have my iPad. And then, so if I can, for me to look at them on my iPad right now, so that I can look at them while I'm talking to you, while I have my iPad mini I'm taping on, and then I've got this really old, which still works, regular big iPad 3, I believe it was, but it was what they were getting all like, Apple. And they were saying, we're not going to call it anything. We're just going to call it the new iPad. Whatever, you know, people. I just like it because it's somewhat easy for me to use. And I find that I use it a lot more than my laptop PC. Anyway, some things I want to talk to you about. Well, some people out there have done their own dreadlocks. They've made their own dreadlocks. And there's someone that's done some comments to my videos who I believe their dreadlocks are about a month old based on previous comments and things like that. They have not shared exactly what date it was, but it sounds like it was about a month ago now that they got their they made the dreadlocks themselves, and they grew their hair for 2 years beforehand. Really looking forward to doing it, and then they did it on themselves because they were impatient, which I totally get. I actually was impatient myself, and I forced myself to stop after creating 5 twist and rip dreads. There were, I think there were 2 on this side and 3 on this side, kind of like up here, but not on the very top. And I don't even know if I can find those dreads anymore. But I might try in this video when I take my hair down and show you my parts, my sections, things like that. So I really, you know, I did some research before I did it myself. And I like twist and rip method. I really liked the way it looked. I really didn't see any drawbacks of it. And so I was doing that. I was doing it wrong, by the way. But the sectioning part, what I had read is that you can section however you want. You don't have to do like perfect squares or perfect diamond shapes. Actually, some people do diamond shapes. They like that. So I thought I could really section it any way I wanted. Like, I didn't know that there were some constraints regarding wisdom of the length of the longevity of the dreads and how that would be regarding tension on your scalp. And I mentioned this in a previous video, but when Debbie was doing like I don't know, it's like almost 2 months ago maybe now that she did these in the front for me, because I had this whole section here as dread fringe. So when she was making these 2 dreads right here, these, and then she made one above my ear here. But we were discussing this stuff, and there's like, it's not very much hair. It's pretty fine. And so she was like, how the heck do you want me to do this? She thought we really shouldn't dread it. So we decided not to dread it for now. She actually put some of them into dreads that were behind there that were existing before, and then we just kind of tried to minimize the amount of hair that was there. But she said if I want to dread it, I can do it myself. So what I will say is this. Tension is really important regarding when you make your sections. And I didn't want squares. I said I wanted more oval or round or organic shapes. But you know, you can see here my sections. I've got some a little bit on the rectangular side, but Debbie made these. And it all depends on how much hair is growing too for you. Like some people have hair growing, there's not that much, and so they can make a bigger section and it still won't be a super fat dread. And parts of your head are growing like thicker hair, you know, more densely populated hair in different places. So when I was reading this person's comments on my videos, I was thinking about how they had sectioned their hair themselves, and I'm sure they did the best job they could, but they said that they were impatient. And so they think that one side has thicker dreads than the other side, and they think they may have made a mistake in the sectioning, might be the reason that they think it is the case. And they're wondering if they should just break their own heart and like get rid of them, comb them out, and start over, or what. And I don't know how long their hair is. I know that their dreads are about a month old. I know that they're not happy with the way that they look. I would love it if they were able to send me a photo of them. Of course, I wouldn't put it on my videos or anything unless they said that was okay. But of course, they don't want to make videos themselves because they don't like the way it looks. Of course, it can be without your face there, or can blur your face out or whatever. But I would just really like to see it just for myself, and not even show anybody if they don't want me to. But so Debbie sectioned these for me, and you see here, this isn't really a perfect thing here. I don't know. This one, it goes back further on top than it does below. I also told Debbie I didn't want them to be like symmetrical. I didn't want any like, I want it to be like, she said like bricks, where you like, bricks are like where the bottom one's here and then the one above it actually goes in the middle. So when you look down the back, if your hair falls apart, it shouldn't be like a straight line. That's what I wanted anyway. But it is sort of a straight line. So it just depends on how my hair falls apart. And I mean, like, just how much hair you have. Like, she only did 3 across the very bottom layer. And then I think she did 3 the next layer up from the bottom, from the back. Oh no, I don't even know how much hair is down out of the ponytail. I kind of put it all up there for you. Here, I should use my mirror so I can see. See, and I would say if you can all do, like, have someone help you section it, that would be great. But then you run into the problem of, even if you have your hair sectioned in like ponytail holder or like little elastics, even if someone else sections it for you and you're going ahead and you're doing the back combing or dreading, however, yourself, you're going to run into the ends of the hair, depending how long they are, they're going to get caught to the other side. So you got to use those sectioning clips, and the ones with teeth. So they make different kinds, and these are the most common that I see. Like metal ones, sometimes they're stainless steel color, but they don't have any teeth. These aren't great for hair like mine, you know, slippery, straight, fine hair. This is the kind of, I would say these are the very best kind of sectioners, and I got these on Amazon. Usually you don't find them with this kind of thing. This is actually an added thing. I haven't been at Sally's Beauty Supply in a really long time, so I don't know whether you can find these or not there, but I know that most commonly it's the stainless steel kind of this type without the teeth. And if you're going to do your own dreadlocks and have someone else section them for you, and then you want to check out the parts and see if you like it, even then, the parts that are at the end, you know, it's kind of like I would take my hair and I would take these clips and I would put it all over to the other side, and then I would like do it in layers. I would actually multiple, like I wouldn't just have a clip on one of the hair. I would actually have multiple clips on the section to keep it really far out of the way. Because when I'm trying to do things, I don't know, I'll admit to you, I do crochet my dreads, okay? I do try to minimize it, because once I get started, I kind of get in this habit where I come in here and do it in front of the mirror. So I really haven't been doing it as much as you guys probably think I have been now that I'm coming out. Like, I was thinking about Paula Deen and how she came out with the fact that she's been like telling people these really unhealthy recipes for food, and then had to come out as diabetic, that she had been diabetic for a while. She lost her job. Anyway, I was thinking about that when I was thinking about telling you about how I crochet my dreads. You know, you guys, I've already told you I do, but I do minimize it because I want to make sure you know it is minimal. When it comes to like, I don't do it like every week or anything like that. But I think a lot of people would say, watch it. And it's true, I should watch it. So even when I'm doing something like that, this hair from up here, I've got it way up in a high ponytail. This darn hair is coming down in here, and I'm focused on doing some kind of crocheting here. Before I know it, I've crocheted a little bit of this into it. It's like, what the? Yes, that's what happens. Yeah, keep the sections apart even after someone has sectioned it with you or for you. And then you got to look really close and see, hey, are there hairs that are crossing over from like over here? It'll just kind of go into here. I mean, this person's got fine hair. They said they have the same kind of hair that I have. So fine, straight hair. I've got lots of it, but I am getting used to the fact that you see my roots, or not my roots, sorry, you see my scalp, because this isn't on purpose. I'm not purposely wanting you to see my scalp or wanting it to be so like seen. It's not because I'm maintaining my roots either. Right now my dreads are just tightening up, and when they tighten up, they're tightening up at the roots as well. So the other thing I wanted to tell you about my sections, when Debbie asked me how big do I want my dreads, how thick and fat do I want them to be, I erred on the side if I want them on the skinnier side, but I wanted them to be varied. I wanted it to be interspersed. I wanted it to be sporadically different. I didn't want any that were going to be really, really thick. Also, I wanted her to put loops in them on purpose. I wanted it to be kind of like some of those imperfections or whatever. And she said that she can do those on purpose. She said they will happen anyway on their own, but if I wanted them on purpose, she could do that. Well, so now that you see my hair now, after all these months, it's 4 months now that I've had them, through the fact of the way I am, the personality I have, okay? So this affects how your dreads progress. So I've got like these nervous habits, okay? I don't smoke, never have smoked. So I don't have addictive tendencies like that at all, but I do get like in the habit of, or like sort of like this thing, like, oh, I want to just spend some time on my own, like listening to podcasts or something. So or a book on tape or whatever, and Audible. And then, so I will sit in front of the mirror and I will do some crocheting, okay? So, therefore, my hair looks more even, like my dreads look more smooth than they were when we intended to make them. You know, Debbie, when she made them more interesting, and you'll probably see some of it on the earliest videos I have of my like 2-week-old dreads and stuff like that. You can see a little bit there, it's like fatter there. But for the most part, I have kind of gotten rid of it by palm rolling it so much. I palm rolled it way more than I have ever crocheted it, by the way. And I didn't crochet it purposely to get rid of any of the loops. See, I wanted organic looking dreads that didn't look too messy, just look kind of funky and cool. So there's a little bit of one there, but you know, I had some really cool stuff. And the way I just personally am, which I was like getting a shower more often than I did before dreads, and I was washing my hair and being excited about how it was every time I washed my hair, it would get tighter and it would like get Velcro-y. And then if I just rolled it a little bit, palm rolled a little bit to squeeze out the water and stuff as it was drying, they were getting tighter and tighter with this Dollylocks shampoo. I mean, if you guys have not tried it before, please think about it. Seriously, Dollylocks. It all changed once I switched to this about a month in. You'll see my videos. I don't know exactly when, but I know I was using this before because I liked it. I love the tea tree stuff. Sometimes I still use this just on my scalp because I love the tea tree aspect of it. I bought tea tree oil and then put some of my Dollylocks shampoo into a smaller container and put a little bit of tea tree in it. Not much, because I know that you don't want to apply straight tea tree to your scalp. But I don't like it. I don't like the smell of it with the tea tree as much as I love the Nag Champa. So anyway, when I switched to the Dollylocks shampoo, that was when my hair started to really be able to take to the palm rolling. So then, you know, my hair doesn't look, my dreads don't look like the way that I planned them out to be. I was going to have them look a lot more interesting, blah, blah, blah. But I don't really see a whole lot of people with dreads that look like the way that I was aiming for and all that. So they're alive, they take a form of their own, and your own personal choices and the way you live your life affects, and the way you do it basically affects how they will progress. And you don't even know exactly what choices you're making will cause what to happen. I did notice along the way that, you know, the bumps were coming out of it and stuff like that. And I figured, okay, I'm palm rolling a lot, but it's good for my dreads to palm roll too. Now the whole twisting thing, I mean, I want you to know, like I've got, yeah, you can see all this scalp here. It's not because of a lot of twisting, and it's not because I've done any damage to my scalp in terms of ripped off the hairs. I don't twist them much at all, and I started not doing that really early on. So my hair is, you're seeing a lot of scalp on my dreads, on me. You're seeing a lot of scalp because my dreads are tightening really fast, and they tighten not just from the bottom, but they also tighten up to the scalp. Okay, that's one thing. Also, I have colored my hair with permanent hair dye, and that makes it tighten faster. So tightened up to the roots as well. That's what the permanent hair dyeing did. Using a shampoo that, for me at least, really makes my hair, it doesn't dry my hair out at all, but still it makes it kind of staticky in this way where it wants to grip together. And all I need to do is do some palm rolling after, when it's damp, after I wash it with this stuff, and it's just amazing stuff. I don't know how it works on other people's hair, but I know that's how it is on my hair. So that is why you see so much scalp. I don't do any tightening on my roots. I don't do any interlocking on my roots for the most part. I haven't for like 2 months at least. The only ones that have been interlocked, even Debbie did, which was the ones that are somewhat really, really skinny, and they were, for the most part, the ones that were so, okay, this one was not started by interlock. This one behind my ear that was really short. But she did interlock this because the skinnier they are, the more they're not growing out and dreading right from the root. Because there's just probably not as much hair there that's going to be going into a dread. So she did interlock this a little bit at the root. She doesn't believe in going close to the scalp for it. And but the other ones that were skinny that she interlocked, like all the ones she made by starting through interlocking, start out really skinny. So that's not one of them. I can't find them all now because, anyway, they're slowly dreading. Skinnier ones are dreading slower than the thicker ones. But those don't dread as well from the root. Gosh, I can't see it now for you. I think this might have been one, possibly. Anyway, she interlocked them, and that was her way of maintaining them, and she's really sparing with root maintenance. But they were just like growing like longer, straight, and floppy without like the rest of these that are dreading. They're dreading from the root for now. So it might continue to happen that way. So I'm not maintaining my roots. I'm not at all. Except if you want to call like shampooing your hair and palm rolling your hair, but not keeping it twisted and pulled back tight. It's not like that. That's not what I'm doing. And I'm not really using a lot of products anymore because it was getting so tight, and then the products in there on top of it, I had to get used to not using as much of the aloe tightening gels. Or the spray, the Dollylocks tightening spray that I love. I've talked about it a lot to people that have watched a lot of my videos. Well, I don't use it. And when I was having my itchy scalp problem after I dyed my hair the second time, like a month and a half ago now, I think it was that I was spraying with this, and my scalp was more sensitive because I had washed it, or not washed it, but I had dyed it. And this has a lot of salt in it. And I know that if I overspray, like if I spray and it goes on my shoulder, if my shoulders are like kind of sensitive for like just gotten out of the shower and stuff, no oil or anything built up, shoulders are kind of itching. It's kind of like stings actually because of how much salt is in here. So early on I used these a lot, and I would not say against it, but I just had to decide, you know, my dreads are progressing now to the point where I shouldn't use it purposely. The other thing I like is dry shampoo, and I tried mixing up my own dry shampoo with cornstarch and mixing cinnamon in there with it and turmeric. But I was really going to I was actually decided to be hesitant. I'm not using that dry shampoo I mixed up myself from a recipe I saw online because I'm still kind of using the Dollylocks when I do. Like if I do need to do root maintenance, I will do this. I will put the Dollylocks dry shampoo locking powder on some of the roots that are up here that seem really shiny, and when they start to seem shiny and like they could use like pulling in some of these like hairs that are kind of growing out from different places, because my hairs don't grow out just like really fine. There's like big chunks of them sort of that grow all in one spot when I have like loose hairs. So it doesn't look the same as having frizzy hair. It looks kind of different the way that my hair grows out. So anyway, this has tea tree oil in it, and I believe it's a lot less microbial, and it won't build up microbial like as a handmade dry shampoo. I'm afraid that with the cornstarch and just like the basic things I put in my homemade dry shampoo, it would probably be more risky as far as growing bacteria in my dreads and from the top down. So the ingredients in this are various ones, but tea tree and spearmint extract are two of them. But there are some other things as well, like bentonite clay. I mean, yes, I know you can make this yourself, but rosin, I don't really know how to find rosin and shave it down super fine so I could make my own. So I'm using it, and I don't use it all the time. In fact, I haven't probably even used this for the last like week and a half. I just did a little bit. I'm shampooing slightly less often. Now I'm doing it every other day or maybe every 2 days, like, you know, a day longer. My hair doesn't feel oily. I do just shampoo. I do it when I want my scalp to feel cleaner. And I do like my dreads to kind of get wet every once in a while. So, let's see. I want to show you my sections. I know that this video has gotten long inadvertently without me realizing it. And you can see, you know, so Debbie did the sections. I think it depends when they section your hair. Like, you know, some places you have more hair growing than others, so you won't want necessarily the sections to be all the same size unless you really want symmetrical look, because you will be probably wanting to go with like how your hair is growing and kind of make decisions based on that too. So let's see. I don't really know if I'm giving you a good show or not because I didn't bring my mirror out until just now. So I guess I'm going with the way my dreads are turning out, more like quote, they're actually turning out way more quote perfect than I wanted them to be. Like the shapes of them are more regular than I wanted them to be. But they're good dreads. So, and it's kind of cool because I'm liking it when I have let it go more than a day in between washes and I sleep with it without my hair cover on that I showed you in one of the last videos. And I've been experimenting with how it does look kind of cool to have some of the frizz. Strangely, I know you guys probably hate me for saying that, like, what, she has to actually work for the frizz? Yeah, surprisingly. I mean, my hair looked so sweet and loose at the beginning, and I didn't even like appreciate how loose and sweet it was because I didn't know. I didn't really know like where I was going or anything with it. I didn't know it was going to be this tight like at 4 months, and I didn't know I should like really appreciate how loose it was and like let it be a little bit more loose. I don't know. I mean, maybe, who knows? It definitely wouldn't look this way if I hadn't done that. So, and then this last time I washed it 2 days ago, I didn't use any gel or any tightening spray at all, but I did use this again. This is by Dreadhead HQ, Nilla Butter Blast, Dreadilicious, and it has water and hemp seed oil in it, as well as vitamin E, and it smells really good. So I sprayed it on just here, and now on the outsides of my dreads, it feels a little bit like oil, waxy kind of thing, kind of like if you were hand rolling your hair and it was like getting a little waxy bit on it, but it's not wax at all. It's a fine feeling, and I like it. It's kind of shiny, fine feeling. I thought that was okay to do that to my hair. And then on the ends, I did use a little bit of the Argan Oil. This is the Aura Cacia brand Argan Oil, but of course, I think all Argan Oil is Moroccan, so it's just not that special brand name because it's like really pure Argan Oil, organic argan, Argania spinosa kernel oil. You don't need to hear that, I'm sure. But I did use 1 drop or 2, you know, 1 drop at a time, and then like go through my ends and stuff, just because I'm trying to nourish my hair right now. So I hope that people get to see my dreads a little bit better and get to hear about how it is living with them. I mean, they're starting to lay down, like not stand out from my head quite as badly as they had been before, but yeah, and I'm able to put them back in a ponytail a little bit more than I was there for a while, but I also had learned from Lazy Dreads guy that putting them back in a ponytail isn't the best for them. So if I can force myself to take the ponytail out for some of the day, I've been trying to do that now that I know that. Because I don't want to, you know, have any weak spots or whatever, especially when my hair is wet. It's more likely to happen, I think. See? So I'll give you another look. And I don't know if you can see if it's parting or not, but I'm going to pull them apart anyway. So you can see where the parts are. And yeah, my scalp looks really white. I never really thought about my scalp before having the dreadlocks. And I did not ever say, Jerusha, hey, you got a really white scalp there. So I don't really know what that is about, or if that's, I'm sure that it's normal to have such a white scalp for such a white girl and doesn't like to go outside much. I really don't like to go outside all that much, except when it's raining, you know. In Oregon here, it rains a lot, but in the summer it's way too sunny for me, so I don't know, but no, I wasn't out in the sun a lot, but still, like, I've never noticed my hair being, my scalp being so incredibly white. And it's funny. It's funny. So yeah, I let my roots grow out, and my loose hairs that are not in dreads grow out, so cover my scalp. I do that. Someone commented that's what they want to do, and yeah, that's what I would do too if I could choose, if I could make a choice about it. So yeah, when I get those like little tiny chunks that like, they're about this long, I'll just like start noticing them right away. When they grow out, because that's how my hair grows out, in little tiny sections that stick together and they like pop out, I'll be, you know, using my locking powder by Dollylocks, and I just put that little bit of that on it, and I just rub in circles, even with my palm. I'm just like, okay, because then I do that, and then I can, if I want to, I can put it in my dread, but I don't have to. Like I said, I had to watch myself there. I can put it in my dread, but I'm trying not to maintain my roots, but that way at least it's like covering up some more of my scalp. But this scalp situation that you're seeing here is not because I'm maintaining my roots perfectly. It's because this is just what goes with the territory of having this particular hair. I have had really dense hair. Like, I have fine hair, but I've always had a lot of it. So when I was getting it cut, I was getting it cut in like seamless layers, which means that like, even though it was long, like underneath, she would make some shorter ones. But, so I have dense hair, but when I see some people with dreads, like they've got way more dreads. Oh, another thing I want to tell you before, because I'm almost done here, is that the count of dreads that I have now are 56 dreads. So because I had 50 before I did my dread fringe, which was all of it from here forward, all the way down to my ear, from here forward on both sides. Then I did these 3 myself of my dread fringe, did these 3 myself, so that adds up to 53 dreads. And then Debbie did these 3 for me right here. These are my dread fringe, purposely like that, like longer at the roots. And then this one right here above my ear. So 56 dreads total. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say, really. That's all I wanted to say. All right. Love you guys. I'm glad you're watching, and I will see you later. Hey, let's keep our fingers crossed about the election here in the United States of America, 2016 election, presidential. Let's keep our fingers crossed here. I mean, no one wants to see both of our candidates in prison unless they should be, you know, but yikes. Okay, that's all. All right. Don't worry, everything will be okay. I'm sure that's what somebody said in the comment. I'm like, okay, I'll try. Thanks.